So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run with a third-year man. This is Tariq Cohen. And good pressure defensively to stop him for a loss of a couple. And there's also a flag to go with it. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Out of the gun, Trubisky. This one out left to the tight end, Burton. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. They had 2 straight first downs, now a gain of 9 to set up 2nd and 1. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Trubisky to Gabriel, middle of the field. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Throwing here, Trubisky. Miller on the catch over the middle. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Trubisky to throw again. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. The product of Jersey City to hear Whitehead on the sack. On 2nd and a long way to go. Trubisky. Now we're going to get a stoppage. There appears to be an injured bear on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Go! 180! Alert! I got you, boy. Right there. Hey, team 6. Alert! I'm coming after you. Jump.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. From the right hash, this from 53. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now the 3rd leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And this first play will get him back to the 25, but that's going to be it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. shotgun now for Carr. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears. Kill. You're mine.
Now Carr. He's going deep for Brown. And got his man complete. Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Antonio Brown, 87 yards. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Yeah, after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Let's go.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that.
There he goes, right side. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears have retaken the lead. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out come the Raiders. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. He's going deep for Brown. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now third down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got one touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Carr to throw. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. This guy is in a zone. Remember, he had a sack hat trick last week. That got him NFC Defensive Player of the Week. Another one right here.
I love how you phrase that, in the zone, because I'm a firm believer that like a running back, like a quarterback, when guys get hot and get locked in, the same thing happens for guys getting sacks. Their moves are working, and they're getting home and putting guys on the ground.
A first update now from Cincinnati, and the Bengals out to the early advantage. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. On second down, Trubisky is going to float this one deep right side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. And he's got Miller. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Chicago! Anthony Miller, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point safely through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
To throw, it's Carr. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. After one, 17-7 is our score. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Come on, the ball. Hey, watch it, watch it. Roll. Express.
Now Carr. He's going deep for Brown. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Fielded at the 20. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Bears take over. A reminder about Sunday Night Football later tonight. It's a rematch from the divisional round last year. Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Then tomorrow on Monday night, the Browns and 49ers from Levi's Stadium, where the Browns already playing their 3rd primetime game in the season's first 5 weeks.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Let's see what you got. Check.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
180. Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Here we go.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. And that will be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Oh, what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And this has not been their best half so far. They're down double digits already and now forced to operate from inside their own 5.
And what they have to do now is not curse their fate as much as focus on the task at hand. Inside their own 5-yard line, they got to be...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And they've got it very deep in enemy territory. It's inside the 5 at the 3-yard line, 1st and goal. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
Check.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake? Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 40. Past the 20. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Here's Bryant for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position and throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throw.
Allen Robinson, kiss him goodbye. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. Dances by him. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Trubisky. This is caught. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. And Miller will pull this one in. He's got it for the Bears' touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky. And the Bears will extend their lead. Point after, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he loses the football a second time. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Roquan Smith, fresh off a solid rookie campaign, in on the tackle for Chicago.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Squeeze, double, double.
Check.
Throwing now is Carr. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
56. I'm coming for you. You mine.
Check. Lock.
OP.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Left side complete, Safarian Jenkins. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Hey, we're good. You ready? Have me.
Carr now on first down. Safarian Jenkins has it. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Handoff comes to Chubb, and he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the 36, Carr, pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Below Nichols. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Check pass. Rush in. Check, will do.
Now Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. After the interception, here's Trubisky. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Play action. It's Trubisky. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Cordero Patterson, 26 yards, and the Bears will add on to their lead.
Heard heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Carr going to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He's going deep for Brown. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Ryan Grant, the intended target. 3rd down here.
Down. Mike, 56. 180. Hey, we're good, we're good. 180. Check 9, check 9. White Monday, down. 180.
From the gun, it's Carr. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Khalil Mack racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the 2nd half. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Elsewhere, a score update from New Orleans. The gap's getting wider there. The Saints have scored again. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. The 3rd quarter starts with a run by Chubb. Akeem Hicks that time on the tackle.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Man open left side is Brown. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Chubb on the counter, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
White down. 185. You're not ready. You're not ready. Jim. White down.
Now on 2nd and 13. Carr. He's going deep for Brown. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10.
Tighten up. Move it down.
into the red zone. It's Carr. Escape, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
Wide, get wide. Mike 56, Mike 56.
Right.
Stay with your man.
Back.
Carr. And he's going to go down again. Khalil Mack, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. On third and long, it's Carr. And the pressure gets to him again. Khalil Mack in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth.
OP. Switch. Hand me.
They'll go for it. It's Carr. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Nikhil Roby-Coleman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
Trubisky brings the Bears up first and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
Sponge. 6-6. Pull it high. He's coming. Double up.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defensively.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. The Bears on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the shotgun is Trubisky. The catch made by Miller. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
Looking to throw again on second down. Trubisky, and the Raiders have got him. Mason Foster came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long.
Hey, box drop. Mike 42.
Here's Trubisky. On the right side, this is Miller. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And the Raiders pick it up. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Get ready. Tight dog.
Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
On 2nd and 9, Carr. It's a screen to Richard. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
From midfield, here's Carr. Over the middle, he's got Tyrell Williams. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down.
Watch the safety creep. Well, Gumbo.
Carr going to go on 4th down. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. Welcome back now here in London. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Carr now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. A give. This is Chubb. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Shit. White. There we go. That's it.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Carr. And his pass incomplete. It was the veteran Prince Amukamara that time who had the play covered from the start. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. It's complete to Graham. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll give it to Chubb. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Chubb. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now Carr. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll be tackled after a gain of 4. Still 3 yards short. 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. Carr to throw for it on 4th down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Throw out right, taken in by Patterson. Cordell Patterson. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Cordell Patterson